Hey guys, this is what's going on at our house. You see the birds. That is a sheet of ice out there. It's not snow. It's some snow with sleet and freezing rain on top. And then we had super cold temperatures. It got down to like 9 or 10 degrees a couple nights. So it was very, very cold. So that did not help. So today it's above 32. It was above 32 yesterday. It's also, you can see it's sunny. The only thing is it's still taking forever for it to melt. So the road's looking a little bit better. Hello, everybody. The plows finally came by, barely. Oh, I was going to sit on a towel. Hang on a minute. I got to get a towel to sit on. We're going to declutter in my kitchen. Set you right here. I'm about to drop you. I'm going to set you right here. Let me go get a towel over here so I have something to sit on. Eat sunshine. Okay, I know this cabinet right here is really messy, so I kind of want to start. Hang on a minute. I keep this towel, handy because Jasper will not get out of my lap. I mean, just if I'm sitting, he's just right there. He's very annoying. I love him, but so annoying. All right, so this, oh gosh, this is a bigger mess than I thought. Well, I should say it's a bigger mess than I thought. You see all the containers, and there's more containers down here. Isn't that attractive? That looks great. Okay, let's see what we can do. I like to keep things with the lids on. Some of these are gonna go into a different spot. Let me not put them on the floor. Okay. First of all, I need the tops on everything. That'd be the first thing. A lot of these go to a different area, so I'll probably keep one of these round ones in here, but I don't need an extra round one. This one. Okay, let's see. This thing is, okay, these two things. Spencer told me I could get rid of this, and it's going gross. This is a horseshoe he found under the house and a bottle he found under the house. And this is so rusty, I put it in plastic, but then I noticed the rust is coming out from under it, so it's just messy. So I might just throw that in the trash. This bottle's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to do anything with it. It looks like it's cracked. So it's not like I'm going to use it for anything, but I'll probably keep that because it's not making a mess. But this, I might just throw that away. I don't know. Put that on the floor for just right now. Okay, these do actually pull out. Okay, so my sister gave me this. I do use it, but it's just taking up so much space. I don't use it a lot. It's one of those things I think I could probably live without. I mostly use it to mix up hummingbird food, if I'm being honest. Just because it's got the measuring cups on there. But honestly, I wouldn't even have to do that. Okay, I do keep these down here. Do I only have one? There's another one. I don't know if I need to keep them both down here. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like there's 3 of them. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna. Now see, this is where keeping tops on gets to be a problem. I know Dawn, Minimal Mom, talks about keeping the tops on, and I do like to do that to a certain degree, but with this being 3 stackable, I think I'm just gonna stack it like this, so that way it'll take up the space, because I've got too much stuff in here. Let's see. These are really nice. I take my dad stuff in here because these seal, is this Rubbermaid? Yeah. Yeah, these are Rubbermaid. I don't know if you can still get them, but these are the best containers I've ever had because you see these, the way this seals. This pushes down and has a seal around it right there. And the liquid does not fall out. It's just about everything else, even though it's supposed to be sealing like this. If it was sloshing around my car, the liquid would fall out. My friend gave me this. I could give it back to her, or I could just, she's not going to care if I don't give it back, but let's see. I'm going to refill Spencer's creamer, and then I think I'll be able to get rid of this because I think his creamer's almost empty. Just stick that there for now. This is 2 cups. I usually just use a 1 cup one when I make my hot cocoa, so I've moved this one down here, but I do use this some, so I'm not going to get rid of that. And you know, it's funny, my mom has about 1.5 million different measuring cups. It's kind of funny. It's like, well, so actually I have more than I need, but another green thing. I really wouldn't have to keep all these in here. This is more what I use at Christmas. So while we're sitting here talking, I'll think about if I want to put these. I may put these in the closet. One thing I know I can get rid of is these. I'm going to put these to declutter because these things never seal right. I'm going to give them away, but once you use them and wash them, like they're just not as reusable as they say they are. None of them really stick like they're supposed to, but I will take them over there because somebody might find a way to use them, but I'm just going to tell you who it's not going to be. It is not going to be me. I have all these lids. I do use these. I don't use this many. See, I like that size. I think I may get rid of these because I'm not really using them. Let's see. I think I might keep these two. I've got one other that I'm using. I'm going to keep those. Let's see. What size fits on these cans? That would fit good enough. It's not as tight. I mean, there's one that's tighter. Like, I guess this would be tighter. But, yeah, that's tighter. But, tell you what, I might just use the tighter one and the bigger one. I was going to get the next size, but I think I'll get that away. Okay, so I'm going to give all these away. This is a really good exercise. I'm glad we're down here. I didn't really think I would be giving stuff away. I thought I'd be moving stuff, but we've already found things to get rid of. And that's just making it look real messy down here. Okay, these I use all the time. This, I put my hot cocoa in it, so I use that every day. These, like if I do macaroni, I use macaroni and cheese, or even maybe just anytime I'm boiling something, I use this size. And then here are my tops. I don't really use the tops that much. But, let's see. Can you see? No, you can't see. There's 3 glass bowls back here. I use them pretty frequently. I'm just going to leave them back there because there's no need in moving them. I don't think I need these bowls anymore. Spencer's mom gave him these, and so he uses one for breakfast, and if he dropped one, it would probably break. So I'm just going to keep these. They're just shoved back here at the back. Let's see. I feel like I could put these tops. I feel like I can put these tops in the one next door to it because I really don't use them. So I guess if I needed them, I could just. Hopefully I remember they're over here. That's where the rest of my pots and pans are. Okay. I have a bunch of these. This one looks ratty. But it is stainless steel, but I don't know why it's got stains all over it. Stainless steel with stains. This one's nice. I think I got these at Dollar Tree. I think I'm going to give these 2 away. Because I've just got so many of these. I know I've got some really nice ones outside already. So there's no need in keeping this many. These are containers my sister gives me. I really need to give them back. But I feel like if I took them to my dad's and I told her about it, I feel like she wouldn't even remember to get it. Let's see, these are just books that go with this stuff that's down here. Spencer's got a thing that you do your what is it? What is it? Coffee grinder. Yeah, he's not even drinking that kind of coffee anymore. We could probably get rid of that, but I don't want to get rid of stuff without asking him. So there's also a Mr. Coffee coffee machine back there. Really, I feel like, you know what I should do is move these to a different area. Let me pull those out. Okay, so I feel like if I take these back to my dad's house, because I don't ever go to my sister's, but I feel like even if I told her, she's more forgetful than me, if that is possible. So I feel like it wouldn't happen. So I may just stick it with my stuff and not worry about it. I mean, she doesn't care one way or the other. This is just, I try not to keep a lot of glass bottles. I just have this one. Okay, and this is, Spencer puts his grapes in these, and he eats grapes every day. And then this is another mixing bowl. Once I get, once I pull this out, because I'm just going to go ahead, I've got a storage area I can put this in. And if Spencer wants to keep this, he's more than welcome. I don't care if he keeps it. But I'm just going to get these out of the kitchen because he's not using this really ever. This is just extra stuff in case the other one tore up or something. Of course, we could get to the store pretty quickly, I think, and replace. But this looks ratty. Y'all excuse how my hand mixer looks very ratty. But this is all I use as far as a mixer. I don't have an expensive mixer, which is good because I wouldn't be able to lift it anyway. The cord is really dirty. I need to, if nothing else, wipe that cord off. This looks like something came off I don't need that. I can declutter that. None of it's going to the trash, I do believe. Blood pressure monitor. You're probably wondering why is that down there, because I have no other place to put it. Let's see. Let me put this back down here. This I need to keep where I find it. This I keep right here, right there. Let's see. I got a bento box that I really haven't been using. I'm gonna see if I can get this rust off of here. I don't think it's gonna come up, but let me just get a paper towel and see if anything happens with it. A little cleaner on paper towel and see if it is coming up a little bit. I didn't want it coming off on that container, so I thought I would just see if I can get it to come off. It's coming off a little, it's fading a little, but it's not really coming off. Okay. Well, it looks better than it did. It's not really coming up though. Okay. I said I was going to keep one of these down here, so I've got one up here I'm going to put in the other room. I'm going to put this in a different room. I'm going to put that in a different room. I might keep this down here because sometimes I have extra stuff for my dad. So this way I'll have two. He's got one of them. I have two of these, but he's got one of them at his house right now because I made him some chicken. So I'll keep these and they'll just sit right here. I'm trying to decide, do I want to keep all four of these? I don't think it matters because if I'm going to keep one in here, this is where I look for these first. So if I keep one in here, it's going to take up just as much space as this, right? So does it matter if I keep four or one? I'm just going to go ahead and keep four right there. And I said I was going to keep this round one, so let's put that right there. That looks a lot better. I don't really use this bento box right now. I have gone back and forth with using it. It's pretty cool because sometimes I would put yogurt in here and put some fruit because that's usually what I eat for breakfast. It's got all these little spaces. I like that. It's really nice for my lunch. I have not been using it. Is it even shutting anymore? Why is it not shutting? Oh, I think because the top's not on here. Let me see. I'm not even sure it shuts. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I was going to say, if it's not going to shut, I'll just get rid of it because take this off. Okay, I'll stick that there. Maybe if it's up front and center, I'll remember to use it or think about using it. All right, so Spencer's got two of these plastic ones that we put the grapes in. So one's got grapes in it. I just keep them because they're really, I mean, I've had them forever. It's Rubbermaid. They work really well. So let's just sit that like that. I'm just going to go ahead and keep them both in here. I think what I'm going to do is move all of this to a different room. So, okay, so that'll take care of that. And then this was my declutter pile. Okay, so it's going very well. Better than I had planned. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to keep this jar. This is the one jar I keep, so I'm going to keep that and stick it right there. This all looks fine. This is a mess right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I do have a, is it a waffle maker back there that we never use? I need to use that or get rid of it. So maybe I need to plan on making waffles. Spencer really likes waffles. Maybe we can do that this weekend. Okay. This is all supplements and stuff. They got stuck in little bags. I've got a couple of these Rely On so I can test my blood sugar. Back when it's not, I don't think it's high anymore, but it was. So that's what that's all about. There's some other stuff shoved in here. Okay, I'm not gonna deal with that today. That's kind of how the blood pressure monitor got shoved in here. This is a bunch of stuff that I just don't really use, so it's just contained. I don't use it much, but I use it some. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this bottle. And like I said, Spencer said I could get rid of all this. Let's see, we're gonna put this bottle where it's not in my way. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna throw this into the trash. Say goodbye to the really old, this is probably from the 1800s, but it's going away because it's gross and rusting everywhere. Okay, I'm going to, here's Spencer's little creamer he's using, and then I'm gonna move this into this, and I think this is down to here, so I don't think that'll even be full, and then I can put it on the list. So I'm just gonna put that up here for now. Okay. So that's probably it for that cabinet. Just move that out. I'll move all this stuff to different rooms. Okay, that looks much more manageable, especially on this side. This is kind of a mess still. I've just, over here on the bottom, you see these books. I've got some cookbooks. The only cookbooks that I keep are right here. So that looks a mess, but anyway, that's where my cookbooks are. Okay, and then I said I was going to give these two away, so that'll be part of the declutter pile. I'll put them up here with this other plastic stuff. And then these two, those are my sister's, but like I said, I bet if I take them to my dad, she won't remember to pick them up. All right, let's move down here. Another thing I need to do is clean. There's cat hair all over my cabinet doors, because why wouldn't there be? Because there's cats here. Okay, can you see? Yeah, that's a mess. Whoops. Okay. Okay, the crock pot I use all the time. The iron I haven't used in 1,000 years, but I bought some shirts that have to be ironed, so the iron is back here. I am keeping that. That's my juicer. I have not used it, but I just leave it here because there are times when I do want to juice. These are the two tops I just stuck in there from the other side. And then this is my electric skillet. I use that every week. And the few pots that I have kept. I do use this one. Here's the two tops. This somebody gave me, and I don't really use this because I use this electric skillet. That was the whole reason I got that. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that. Okay, and I'm gonna keep this one because I wouldn't have to have both of them, but I don't know. Yeah, that one's not Revereware, but I'm not really getting this pot I just put up there is Revereware. That's why somebody gave it to me because they knew I like that. But so this one's Revereware. I'm definitely keeping this one. And I'll just put the tops down here. Okay, so everything's got its top or lid or whatever with it. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there is just take that one pan out. I have another pan like this that's huge. If anything, I might keep this one and switch take the huge one and get rid of it if I didn't already. But see, that's old Revereware too. Okay. I do love me some Revereware, but I really have only used that once just to see if I liked it. And I like my electric one better. Now, on the other hand, I will say that electric one, well, okay, I could use the electric one with the generator. Yeah, I was thinking about if we had to cook outside, but we have the generator, so we wouldn't have to, I wouldn't need to skillet like that. Okay, because I can just hook that to the generator. So the way the generator works is, it stays outside, and then you just plug in, you have to use extension cords, so you have to be careful with that, but you just plug in what you need. Okay, right now I'm off the Vital Proteins because that's one of the supplements. I did look it up. I think I could keep using it, but I'm just off it for now. I don't want to, this is prior to surgery. I don't want to bleed to death after this surgery. That ain't worth it just to take a few supplements. So, this I am going to part with. This, my mom bought this. I didn't really talk her into it, but I told her about the Instant Pot. I'm sorry, I'm making a lot of noise. And so she got a small one. I think she used it one time and never used it again. So she gave it to me, but I don't need it because I've got a bigger one. Honestly, about the only thing I do is put eggs in mine. I wonder what I should probably do. I should probably boil some eggs in this and see how well it works. And if it works, I think I boiled eggs in here before. If it worked well, I just assume keep the smaller one. I don't have enough eggs right now without going to the store to do that because right now we're iced in. Well, Spencer's gone to work, but I'm not going to ask him to go. Why does this look like glass? That is glass. Where'd that come from? Oh my gosh. I have no idea where that came from. Glass on the floor. How bizarre. Just vacuumed the other day. Anyway, I don't want to ask him to go to the grocery store for me because the parking lots are just complete and total bedlam. Let me let the cat in. He's out here looking at me. Hey, Jasper, what are you doing? All right, come on. Okay, don't climb in there. Nope. All right, I just let Boo in. Okay, this up here, I use Swerve, and this is coconut sugar. I use these in my hot cocoa, so I use these every day. I use the marshmallows also. Okay, these, this is the cover for one of my Pyrex dishes. I'm not getting rid of that. This I use sometimes. It's one of those cooler bags. This is that 31 brand. Somebody gave it to me. I don't buy stuff like that, but somebody gave me that. But anyway, that is a really nice insulated bag. And then I put a cooler in there. So I do use that. I use the smaller one as well. So I'm gonna keep all those. I'll tell you what I don't really use anymore are these disposable gloves, and I have a whole, that's about half. I've probably had this for 10 years. That's half of a, I used to use them some when I was fooling with chicken, but I'm just not as OCD as I used to be. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away because I'm just not using it. This is where I store my Jell-O. So I have a bunch of Jell-Os in here. Not a bunch, I have a few. What do I have, strawberry? Yeah. Okay. Probably need to use this peach pretty soon because that's probably expired. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, it expired in 25, so it's good enough to use. I need to put that on my list and use that up. Okay. So I'll go ahead and put these back there. Who knows, I might use them at some point, probably not. This is plates I got Spencer because I thought they were cute for like the gaming for his birthday. We don't make a big deal about birthdays here. We actually don't make a big deal about birthdays or Christmas. We're just very boring people. Okay, I'm going to stick these back here because I know I'm keeping these. It's really nice to just come in here and see what you have. And like, you know, Dawn always talks about your inventory. I think it's a good idea to kind of see what sort of inventory you have. So I know I'm using all this. I use this every day. Not every day. I use the Swerve every day. And then I have these milks that I think I need to use. Yeah, this is best if used by 11/24. I'm not worried about the date on here really. That's 25, so we should use this up first for sure. That's 25. These are shelf stable, so I think they're fine. 25, these are all 25. 25, I do need to use them though. 25. Okay, shelf stable milks from Dollar Tree. These are great. Now, obviously, like it is, you know, got a Best by use date, but these are still only $1.25 at Dollar Tree. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll open this one from 24. They do taste a little different than regular milk, I think, because they're super pasteurized. So if it smells weird at all, I mean, if it smells a little strange, that's how it smells. But if it smells really bad, I will just. I think I'm just gonna throw this away because I don't like it. I got that at Dollar Tree and I do not like it. It's coconut oil. I don't like it at all. I've got this bigger one right here. I'm keeping that. Okay, so I need to remember to try this thing out, the smaller one, because I think in the last couple of years, the only thing I've used my big Instant Pot for was eggs, and if it'll work in here, I'm just gonna keep that. Okay, I have all these sprays. I really like these. They're taking up a lot of room, but they're not even selling these. Well, they sell this, but this is watermelon. They're not selling the watermelon right now. I hope they come back with this because I like the watermelon and I really like the green. The green apple is actually my favorite. These, I love these. So this is the extra brand foaming dish spray apple blossom. Okay, and I've got some extra soaps down here. Oh, I do have another one. Is that another one? A full one? Oh, I got an extra one. So I got 4. Okay. Here's my big. This is just hard to lift. To lift this, I have to take this liner out first and then pick this up because it's just so heavy. So it would be a blessing if the eggs would be cooked just fine in here. So I'm definitely going to try that. Here's the top up here. I don't know if you can see, that's the top to the big one. And I have a whole bunch of these. I'm guessing this belongs in this small one, but that's what you put the eggs on. So if I get rid of the big one, I can get rid of that pile of stuff there because I would only need the one thing. Okay, so I've got 2 soaps right here. There's some protein powder back there that I have not finished off. I did use a lot of it. These are for Sunshine. This is the bone broth I'm using for her currently. If you have anemia, this is really, really good for you. Sunshine's got anemia. This is what I keep. I can control her anemia with this most of the time. Occasionally I have to put her back on meds. I got this amazing grass stuff that I just never really used it. Should probably get rid of this. Simply add to water or juice. I feel like it would be really gross to add this to water. I can't remember if that's how I did it. I hate throwing stuff like that out because it's really healthy. Okay, these bone broths, I got these for Sunshine, but they didn't work for her problem. So, but they're not expired yet, and I used these. This brand did not work for her, I don't think. I think I finally figured out I had to use this more expensive brand. But anyway, I still use these when I do my own cooking. I use the Zoop brand for her, and I use this when anytime I put something in the crock pot, I just put this in there with it. So whether it's chicken or beef, either way, I just use it. I don't use beef broth, I just use that, just so I have to keep one thing on hand. Okay, so here's all my, let me put this back here, because I keep this right front here so Spencer can find it. Okay, because if I'm out of town, you know, with Dad. Okay, because he has to make sure he gives her that or she will be very, very sick. Okay, so I can put all these back in front of here because I know I'm not gonna pull that huge machine out. And then I gotta think about this. I probably should just get rid of it because I remember it was kind of gross. Okay, so far I've gotten rid of these 2 things out of this, but I did organize the rest of this and make sure I'm using it. Okay, while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all these cabinets because they're filthy. They're just, I don't know how well you see it, but they're filthy. They're filthy. I've already been talking for 29 minutes with just 2 cabinets. Or, well, I guess it's 3. Get me some soapy water and my gloves, and we will wipe these cabinets down, and then we'll be done. Okay, I got this bucket of soapy water. This is my Fly Lady cloths. I've cut these into fourths, so it's, you know, it's smaller. Her cloths are a lot bigger than this. Although at some point she was selling smaller ones, but I think she quit. She discontinued them. I've had these forever. They last forever. Okay, this is all so dirty. And I've been looking at this for months thinking I've got to clean this off. I don't know what's taking me so long. Laziness, sheer laziness. I'm stuck here. So let's see, yesterday I worked on my taxes. I pretty much am finished with the mileage, and the rest of my taxes, I just have to look for my write-offs, which is stuff like my cell phone. I don't have that many. I don't think I bought that much this year, and I didn't keep receipts for stuff I did buy. Just like piddling stuff I bought, I didn't even keep them. So I don't think I have many write-offs this year. So, except for the mileage is my big write-off. That's how I get my salary down some. So I'm not paying tax on so much. There's some stains here that this is not getting off. I need a magic eraser at some point. But I'm just gonna hit the high points. If it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off. This go round, don't really care. I'm in a I don't care period of my life right now. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? I do not care. Jasper, let's see, there's debris down here too. Anywhere the cats can touch, they've touched. I don't know what this sticky stuff is that's glued onto here. Everybody feels like they need to eat at the same time. All right. There's some kind of yellow stuff glued on here. I don't know what that is. Looks like I had some kind of spill, but it's on every cabinet, I think. So basically, I'm stuck here the entire week. We're gonna see. We heard that I-40 is pretty clear, or I think they spent a lot of time clearing 40. So I think 40 is clear, and we'll be able to get to my dad in Jackson. That's what we have to drive down. And then they just finally got part of our highway more clear today. It's been really rough. I've not been out at all. I do not wish to be out in that ice mess. So I'm just staying home, but. Spencer went to work yesterday and today, so today's Wednesday. So he stayed home Monday. His boss told him to stay home. He stayed home Monday. Tuesday he went. He just left late. Don't drink out of this. It's soapy water. Don't drink. I'm telling you, Jasper is into everything. You would think he was a kitten. He's worse than, I kind of think of Boo as a kitten, even though he's over, I mean, we've had him a year, so we know he's over a year old. Probably at least a couple years, but I just think of him as a kitten, but Jasper's the one into absolutely everything. He will not get off my lap. He will not stop bothering me. He's just everywhere all the time. And I love him, and I don't want to, be mean about it, but at some point I like to sit by myself. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't climbed my lap right here because I'm sitting down. Maybe he just doesn't want to sit on the floor. I don't know. Anyway, the roads are terrible, but we're going to... it looked like they cleared one side of our highway. Hopefully they'll come by with the snowplow on the other side at some point today so Spencer can get home safely. He said it really wasn't that much better. He didn't feel like it was that much better today than it was yesterday. It's very concerning that he's getting out, but anyway, that's a man for you. He grew up in New Mexico where they had a lot of, snow and ice. He lived on a mountain. He had to drive down the mountain to get anywhere, so... he's used to it, and I get it, but it still just frightens me to death that something could happen to him. It only takes one idiot out there to slam into him. He wouldn't even have to be doing anything except just driving. So, So, and there have been, even they were saying even police were off, you know, sheriff's department people were off on the side in ditches and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go this way and shove everything down so I can do this next one. Oh, here's something else I'm gonna declutter. This candle, I just lit it and it won't, because it's so far down, it won't do anything. So I'm just gonna make sure it's not hot. I don't think it is. No, it's not. I'm gonna throw that in the trash. Somebody gave that to me and I spent all Christmas burning it, and now we're done. These are, Jasper, please. He wants you to see how cute he is. He's gonna pass by there. Okay. Anyway, I just don't think it's worth getting out. That's just my opinion. Spencer came home. He wasn't really gone that long because he came home early. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this early in the day because I was like, oh, yesterday he came home early. I better get this done now. But yesterday, instead of doing this, I worked on my taxes, which was really the most important thing I could have been doing, was getting those taxes done. So I'm not sorry about that. I've got the bulk of that finished now. So that takes a while. And I did it a different way. I did it on paper and then put it into the spreadsheet, and I think it went a lot faster that way, even though it was 2 steps. Normally I just sit down and put it into the spreadsheet from my little, I have a little planner I put in my purse. So usually from the planner, I just go straight from the planner to the spreadsheet, and this time I just did it on paper first, because it just seems like I sit at the computer forever and I have to get the calculator out and figure some things as far as the mileage goes to make sure I'm figuring everything correctly. I mean, the spreadsheet will figure it for you, but I need to make sure I'm putting the numbers in correctly. So that's why I have, you know, I do all this kind of paperwork. So I thought if I got to do all that and sit there that long, and the computer chair is not that comfortable for me, it kind of leans back. So I thought if I got to do all that, I'm just going to sit somewhere more comfortable, put all this down on paper. And then that worked, because yesterday I watched or listened to something on Hallmark. I've got, you know, Hallmark is on YouTube, so you don't have to even you don't have to like pay for it. They have a lot of movies on there, so I was watching something from that. And I was really just mostly listening to it, but I've got that done. I don't even know if it took me 3 hours, which might have been 2.5 hours. That's nothing for how long it usually takes. So it really, even though I spent more time maybe in the long run, it was more comfortable for my back because I wasn't sitting at that computer forever. And usually I can't just sit down and do it in one day. It takes me days and days to do it. So I'm not even sure it took longer. I wouldn't be surprised if it took less time. And one time I worked on it, we were in the car and Spencer was driving, and I worked on a whole bunch of it in the car while he was driving. So that really wasn't even taking time, you know, that wasn't taking time away from anything to do it that way. So I feel like I'm gonna keep doing that. So January is just about over. And of course I haven't worked any this week, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and look at my calendar. It's easier if I go ahead and do it when it's fresh in my mind. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. That's something I could sit down and do today or maybe tomorrow. I think tomorrow the surgery center is supposed to call me about the pre-op kind of chat they have with you, and this is where I tell them I don't want to take Versed. I'm pretty sure I tell them that. Then, if that doesn't work, I'll tell the anesthesiologist. But I think I'm gonna tell them I don't want any Versed and I need something for nausea. So he has given me some nausea medicine, so I want to make sure that they're gonna give me something. If they're not, I'm gonna take a dissolvable one because that's what he's prescribed. He said it's for after the surgery, but I'm like, dude, I need something before the surgery. I don't need it. I need it after, but I need it before a lot worse than I need it after. Anesthesia makes me throw up, so there's that. Okay, here's the third one. I didn't expect this video to take this long. We're on 39 minutes now. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it takes 39 or 45. This will probably be 45 minutes by the time I get done. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna. I think they talk to you about how do you do with anesthesia and all that stuff. You can see this right here. This is a wad of hair or something. I don't know. Stuck to it. It's like glue, whatever it is glued to it. fuzz hair, cat hair or something. Anyway, I almost went to the cardiologist this year, not because I'm really having problems, but they had found something on my EKG that wasn't quite normal. And then they couldn't really tell me what it was. This was at the regular doctor, so I almost made an appointment with him. Well, now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the information I got on email to me said, if you have a cardiologist, you have to get a letter from him. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't do that, because this was, this was scheduled really fast. It was 2 weeks, I got it scheduled within 2 weeks. And then, of course, all the snow and ice. And what if I couldn't get somebody to do the letter in time? That would make me mad if that's, I don't want anything slowing this down. I'm glad this ice is melting. And like my sister's surgery center is open today. So I'm fairly certain the one I'm going to, I already knew it was, because the roads are better. Where that surgery center is, the roads are not that bad. It's a very busy road, so I know it's been cleared. I think at least one, what do you call it? One lane is open right now. This stuff, whatever is on here, is so sticky. This must be where I spray, just because I spray cooking oil. It must be. Or actually, this is where my toaster's up there. This is where I cook bacon. Maybe it's spilling some bacon grease or something spilling. I don't know. It's a mess. But anyway, Spencer said, well, you better make sure they're even going to be open. I was like, oh, don't you worry. They're going to call me and want me to pay. Did I already tell you I've got to pay twice? So I'm going to have to pay my deductible twice, because the doctor wants his money and then the surgery center wants their money. And it's like, well, that's great, because somebody's got to pay me back. And how long is that going to take? And if you try to explain to them, they don't listen. They're like, no, we've already looked at your benefits. Yeah, I get that you've looked at my benefits, but what we don't understand is the doctor is charging me ahead of time, and now you're also charging me up front. The doctor, the lady that schedules for the doctor, did I tell y'all how rude she was? She was incredibly rude and just obnoxious. She's just you can tell she's just a really matter-of-fact person, and that's just her personality. So it wasn't like I took it personally. I could just tell that's the kind of very matter-of-fact, blunt, incredibly blunt person. That's just the way her personality is. But I asked her, I think I already told you this, I asked her if there was any way to get my surgery scheduled for earlier in the day. She goes, but that's not how it works, real kind of rude like that. And then she goes, so what you can do, and then she gave me an option for how I could do it. And I was like, well, it's funny, you just said it don't work that way. And now you're saying, well, there's this one option where you could do it that way. So I'm going to a surgery center where he only works there in the mornings. So in other words, I'm thinking that means the surgery will be wrapped up by noon or 12:30. I'll sit in, even if I'm the last person, I'll sit in recovery for a while, and then I'll be able to go home and I'll be able to eat at some point, right? That was my whole thing, is I didn't want to be sitting there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon not getting to eat. You know how that goes? I did not want to do that. I've had really late surgery, like colonoscopy was scheduled for really late. I was ready to eat a table leg off the table before I ever got in there, because they won't let you eat at all for an entire day. So I just don't want to do a late one. I mean, if it didn't start till noon, that's fine, but I didn't want to be starting at 4 in the afternoon, and be there forever. So anyway, I think tomorrow is when they're going to call me and tell me what time. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be Friday. What time I'm supposed to be there? Okay, this is clean. I got the funk off of here that I showed you. I think it was right here, actually, right around there. Got that funk off. This is still there's still a little funk right here, but that's fine. But anyway, she was just, I found her to be incredibly rude, and I didn't think there was any reason for it, but I think that's how she speaks to everybody, so I didn't take it personally. This right here on this oven also gets very funky, but it looks like I've wiped that off recently. So it's not as bad. It just gets so dirty, these just places where dust catches. So anyway, like I said, I didn't take it personally, but I didn't like the way she talked to me. I didn't like her attitude. I didn't like anything about her. And my doctor, she's my doctor's sister, and my doctor is so nice. And I was just like, I actually don't even like him that much, because just, I don't know, like I said, he has not solved my problem. I don't think it's his fault, but he just, I don't know. He would kind of blow me off about things. I don't like that. So that's why it's not that he didn't solve my problem. I didn't like him. It was because he blew me off that I didn't like him. But he is so nice compared to her. I'm like, how are y'all related? I mean, they're just they couldn't be any different. I mean, I feel like my sister and I are very different people, like just very different. But this was even a larger chasm than anything about me and my sister. My sister and I do have some things in common. Just from the one chat I had with this woman, I was like, I don't think y'all have anything in common. Like, why is he letting you do this? I guess because she's very matter of fact, so she gets everything done and she gets his money for him, and they're gonna call you on Friday and you're gonna pay, and if you don't pay, it's like, what if they? Because that's when with my dad, I'm kind of glad I'm gonna be at home Friday, because I was like thinking to myself, holy cow, that's when I'm with my dad. I'm not really attached to my phone. I'm supposed to be caring for my dad. You know what I'm saying? And I knew better than to say to her, well, I'm my dad's caretaker. She'd been like, I don't care. They're calling you on Friday, and if you don't pay, you don't get to have surgery. That's the whole, it's just like, I told Spencer, I said, I would feel more comfortable paying, I would pay them right now just to go ahead and not have to worry about Friday, you know? I would pay them 2 weeks ahead, not to have to deal with Friday. He was like, yeah, really, that's ridiculous to be told, they're gonna call you and you gotta pay, and it was just real, and I was like, you know, I've just never, I don't get talked to like that very often, I gotta say. And normally in my regular life, if someone spoke to me that way, I would be like, click, you know, but I'm trying to get my surgery scheduled. What am I gonna do? I gotta put up with her CRAP, right? So I was just like, just get me through this phone call, Lord, just get me through the phone call. But she was obnoxious. So anyway, hopefully, what if the phone doesn't work for some reason, and they're not able to get through to me, and I'm not able to pay my money on Friday? Then what? It's like, okay, I'm sure it's all going to work out fine. If they don't get a hold of me at some point, I'm going to be calling their office and finding out what the heck is going on. All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks for decluttering and cleaning with me. I hope this helped you in your decluttering and simplifying journey. Love you guys. Talk to you next time. Bye.